Hopefully everybody can see me and hear me okay. So we're got the dogs out so that they can go potty, and we stopped for the night. Hopefully this is working. It's hot as balls here. We're in Iowa. I just had my alert for my live go off. Yes, so I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, and I figured it was high time I did, to tell you, because I changed everything now. So I did change the whole branding for the channel. So now we are Lessons from the Back Road, and as you guys, my viewers, you will be the Backroads Nation. So it's a bit more mature than My Life So Far and My Life So Far vlogs. So I figure that it's only fair because, so when I first started, it was, I want to say early 2000s, like 2008-ish. So I was in my teens, and that's when we were Wasama Undecided. And then I got into my early 20s and mid-20s, which was my young adulthood, and that's where I was My Life So Far. And now I've hit 35, and I figure that's middle-aged. It hurts to say it, but it is middle-aged. So we should probably have a more mature branding for the channel. So I've gotten the inspiration to make videos again. So that is what we were going to be doing. Still trucking, still have both dogs. There's Nora and Sienna. I will say Sienna doesn't always go out with me as much anymore. She turned 9 this past Sunday or Monday, I believe. So she's getting up there in age, and I don't want to be dragging her all over the place and having her jump in and out of the truck. Even though I do, you can see it, I do have steps that she uses to get in and out of the truck that I've tried to use now, so that it's a little bit easier on her joints. What else is going on? I think that's about it. We're still in the purple truck. We have named her Breakdown Betty because I got her last May, and she's broken down pretty consistently, honestly, since I've had her. It's been in the shop more times than I can count. I think the last count was around 7 or 8, I believe. And she's going back in the shop again, actually, next week. So, more fun. So yeah, Breakdown Betty is the old girl's name now. Still driving, same company. Still bouncing between New York, where my brother and his family lives, and North Carolina, where my mom lives. Okay, dogs are done, so we're gonna go hop back in the truck here for a second. It's gonna get loud, but yes, we're gonna do that. Maybe. Sienna's kind of a butthole when it comes to bathroom time. Come on, C. Come on. We're just gonna set you guys down for a second. Stay there. Enjoy. Don't fall over. I said don't fall over. There we go. All right. Okay, they're inside again. Holy nuts. Wow, it's so much quieter now. There we go. There. Whew. Hot. Can we turn that a little bit? There we go. Yes, so in case you didn't hear any of that while I was outside, letting the dogs go to the bathroom. So I had the channel since, I believe the first video I uploaded was in 2008, and it was, I think the branding back then was Wasama Undecided, because I was in college and I couldn't decide what I wanted to major in, so that's how I got that name. And then I got a little bit older and I graduated college, and I didn't really like the name Wasama Undecided, so I went with My Life So Far, because I was trying to do vlogs of my life as it happened. But there are huge gaps in the time where I would upload, because I get inspiration to make videos and then I'll get like super depressed or super stressed, or something else will happen. I just will not feel like making videos at all, and that's what happened last year. So last year it was I think July 2022, no, January 2022. I left out of the house after the first of the year, and I didn't go back to the house, I think it was out for almost like 4 months, and it destroyed me, like mentally kicked my rear so bad. I was exhausted, and I think I got this truck the week before Mother's Day, and the day that I got this truck, I was driving down through Iowa and I was just in tears, bawling my eyes out, and my mom had called me, and it was like, normally I don't cry in front of people, and I couldn't help myself. I was full on bawling. Like, it was probably unsafe for me to drive, but I was full on crying, tears just running down my face. I believe I did have both dogs I had both dogs at the time. And Breakdown Betty, for the win. Brand new truck. She had 700 miles on her. That afternoon she broke down, and she was broken down for a week, and I ended up renting a car and going home for Mother's Day and just getting refreshed for not being in the truck. And it was so relaxing. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. But it was right around then I stopped making videos last year. So then I got back in the truck, and then Breakdown Betty would just break down. And then I think it was, I want to say this May or June, I had just come out of the house, and I was taking a load from, I think, South Carolina or North Carolina up to Chicago. So we got into Chicago, and we're on the Dan Ryan, which is the main interstate that goes through like the center of the city. And all of a sudden there's this big honk and clunk, and this truck sounds horrible, and it's shaking like I just tore the front end off and all this. And I'm like, ooh, I am only like, I think at the time I was only 20 or 30 miles from my delivery. I'm like, should I make it? And I was on the phone with the guy when it happened, and he's like, I don't know. Well, then I made it just a little further, and then all of a sudden my dash just lit up. Every light that could light up on this truck lit up. And so I'm like, oh, that's it, I'm done. So I pulled over. Hey, more bang for your bucks. Yes, I changed my channel name, yes. So I'm trying to go for a more mature name. My Life So Far and My Life So Far Vlogs was my young adulthood 20s time period. So now I've hit 35, I figure I should probably kick it up and go for a little bit more mature name. Yep, yeah, Tim from M21. Yep, I remember you. Yeah, because you had I think, the Prius, right? When you came to M21, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened with Breakdown Betty. So she's been good so far. Fingers crossed. Although she is going back into the shop again. Toyota minivan now. That's good. That's bigger than a Prius, so that's nice. So a minivan's probably about the same size as what I have. It's like if you take a bathroom, like a small normal size bathroom, and you just take out everything. That's what we have for sleeping space. Yeah, and it's less with the dogs with me because they're like a whole nother person sleeping in here. But it is nice because I don't know if you've noticed, there's no passenger seat in this truck. Yep, so the people at work took it out for me so that I could get the dog beds in here. They're looking at me because it's time for them to eat, but no food yet. No food. We can take your leashes off though. Yes, trucking is definitely like that's I thought about just before I started trucking, I was actually cleaning out my Dodge Stratus and I had taken out the passenger seat and I put in a platform with a foam bed because I was gonna live out of that car and go travel the country in that. I even had a job lined up at Amazon for their workforce group. I don't think they do it anymore, but they were. And so I had that all lined up, and it was like the week before I was supposed to leave out for the Amazon workforce. I just happened to get an ad for a trucking company that paid for training. So I'm like, let's try that, and then we'll get paid for traveling the country. And now that we're in this, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's kind of the same size as if we're just riding in cars going across the country. The only difference is we're freaking 80 feet long, and we can't go everywhere. We appreciate what y'all guys doing. It's an underappreciated job. Yeah, thank you, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it is. I know there's a lot of old school truckers who talk about the good old days, and I remember my dad talking about how truckers were really cool back in the day. But I think it's like they were the cowboys of the road, and now it's not so much. So it's lost its shininess. Although I will say it is pretty cool because I'm parked. I don't know if you can see, there's giant wind turbines parked in front of me, and like that's a cool job. And it pays really well, but I am just, I wouldn't want to do that because the trailer has somebody else who moves the trailer to turn and everything, and I'd like being in control of the whole rig myself, other than somebody messing with the rear with just, no. That's not, I don't even think, I've done oversized before, but nothing super crazy, and I don't think I could do it. So for us, the oversized guys, they're the big kahunas. Y'all are still cool people out there. Without y'all, the economy stops. You are the bloodline of this country. Yeah, thank you, man. And actually, that's how you usually can tell how the economy is doing, is if there's a lot of trucks on the road or if there's like a shortage. And I know they're talking about in the news and everything that there's a shortage of truckers, but actually right now there's a huge shortage of loads. So that tells me that the economy is down in the pooper a little bit, where maybe not last year, but I'd say the end of 2021, the beginning of 2022, it was actually really high. The loads and everything were paying really well, and now it's in the gutter. There was a struggle even for our company this year. They did contract negotiations, usually go through in June, and I guess it was just a cluster this past June for contracts to get through, because there's a whole bunch of like supersized companies that are lowballing the loads. So yeah, it's crazy. That's just trucking life, I guess. But yeah, it's some of them you'll see like on Facebook and stuff. There are some loads that get posted that don't even pay for the fuel to get from one place to the other, and they want you to do it they want you to do it cheaper than what the fuel is to get there. I think I missed that one. Live chat. There we go. Okay. Nobody wants to work on grindy work anymore. They just want quick money making scheme. Yeah. So that's what I've heard from other people is the work from home jobs that are like customer service. It's the customer service and then like sales representatives. They're the ones that people are running towards because they can work from home and they can work less hours. So that means all of the like down and dirty jobs are having a shortage of workers. So that'd be like there's trucking, and then there's all the trade schools, so construction, plumbing, HV, pretty much anything that you would go to trade school. There's a huge shortage of because it's actual hard work, and that's not including any of the like manufacturing jobs too are struggling to find workers, but they are struggling for a whole nother reason, and that has to do with companies that don't want to pay workers livable wages, which is crazy. I know when I worked, so when I was in my early 20s, I worked for a couple manufacturing companies, and we were making only like $1 or $2 more than minimum wage, and it was insane. Like back in the day, make me sound old, not that old guys, but back in the day, manufacturing companies paid really well, and they paid like a basic cost of living, and now you can make more working at fast food than you can working in a manufacturing company. That's crazy. Hold on, I think my doggy's just gotten into something. Sienna, what are you eating? Stop eating garbage. Hey. Sienna hasn't been in the truck in nearly almost a year, actually. So this is her first time. I don't think she's enjoying it, but oh my gosh, I didn't have either of them in the truck, and I was so lonely. It was crazy. Everything is cheaper back then. Yeah, there's actually a ton of people online that you look at with inflation and everything. There's actually more inflation and everything's more expensive now than it was even back in the Great Depression, which is just insane because like the name of it is the Great Depression, and now it's just like, oh yeah, it's just another day, no biggie, guys. Crazy. But yeah, Sienna, this is her first time in the truck in a while, and I forgot that when she's in the truck, I have to keep the garbage picked up because she will get into the garbage and eat anything and everything. Right now she was chasing flies and eating them, which normally you don't care. It kills the flies and everything. But with her, because she has a finicky stomach, if she eats too many flies, she will get sick. It has happened before, and it's her getting sick in this truck. She's done it almost since I put her in the semi truck. She would get sick in the truck a lot. My first home dang it, stop. There it is. My first home bought for $179,000. It goes for $700,000 after 25 years. Can't even afford to buy my own home. Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy that it's gone up that much. Holy cow. That's crazy. Man. So that's what, yeah, like everybody's complaining about millennials living with their parents, but honestly, we can't afford to live anywhere else. Like, we can't afford to buy a place because the economy is crazy, and then like renting, the price of rent is insane. I looked at places to rent, and like if you could find one for $1,000, you were it. Most of them go for $1,400 upwards to $2,000, and that's like all over now. And I'm just like, I remember when I was in college, you could rent a place for like $800. Yes, mooch from parents as long as you can to save. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. I've lived with my parents, gosh, ever since, I want to say 2012. I mean, to be fair, like the last 5 years, technically I've lived out of a semi-truck. I've just used their address as my permanent residence. But yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2012 because I had an apartment, and I was sharing it with my brother, and then he got his girlfriend pregnant, and so they wanted the apartment for themselves to start their family. So I moved out and I moved back in with my parents, and it was like the week after I moved in with my parents, our house burnt down. So thankfully I had some stuff in storage, but yeah, that was insane. Stay. Oh my gosh, chat. We want you to stay as long as you want, as long as you are working to save. Yeah. Yep. That's what, like, there's a difference between mooching and like being fiscally responsible. Because I know there are some people. My friend had a boyfriend who lived with his parents, and he really didn't want to work, so he would stay home and play video games and drink. Now I have no problem with video games. Absolutely love video games. I have a PlayStation in this truck as I speak, just in case I have any downtime. I can play video games. But yeah, when I'm home, like, I'll bust my ass to work, and then when I go home, that's like my 1 week of rest time. Yeah, the sim man. Yep, that's what it is, man. Oh my gosh, I got dog hair all over, and I vacuumed this truck out this morning. But Nora, I can just like pull just little floofs, and this one isn't that big, but they've gotten huge, and I don't know how to make her not shed so much. I even got a vacuum that has a brush on it so that when I brush her out, it sucks up her hair, which is amazing, except she loses so much hair I have to empty the vacuum out. Last time when I brushed her out and vacuumed it, I had to empty it 4 times to get all the hair, which is nuts. Sienna now, it's like 1 brush and she's done. But then too, Sienna loves to be brushed, and Nora absolutely hates it. That's a job itself. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I thought somebody just hit somebody back there. It was loud. Oh, I'm just hearing things. Yep, taking care of the fur animals. They're down here just snoozing because it's just so hot. We were in the shop today to get the truck. It had a full service that needed to have done on it, and we actually stayed in the shop in the heat for probably longer than we should have. But I felt so bad for them because they were just panting away. Okay, we'll go inside. But inside there's a little wiener dog who's absolutely adorable, and I love her. Little Teeter. And the problem is Sienna loves other dogs, so when she sees them she wants to bark. Nora loves other dogs, but I'm not sure if she loves other dogs because she wants to play with them or because she wants to eat them. So I try to keep Nora away from little dogs. Yeah, inactive for a year. Yeah, yep. I think the last video on this channel that I posted was a shorts back when I was out in Colorado of a Swift video. And then before that was like, I think I got glasses or something, these glasses. So yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah, I had all the truck breaking down issues over the past year, and then I actually started a business. I started a stationery company where I sell like stickers and sticker sheets and journaling stuff, and gosh, what else? You know, I have like pins and magnets and all kinds of things. So I've been doing that, and I think that's taken more of my focus. And the easiest way for me to promote it was on TikTok. So I was huge on TikTok. There were times I was making TikTok videos about once a week on that. So it's called Pages of Magic, and you can look that up. But yeah, that's where I put most of my energy. So YouTube took a back seat, and TikTok just became my life. So business right now is slow, and everybody's saying it's because it's summertime, and because people aren't at home, they're on vacation or like out on the beach or something like that. It's going to be slow until kids start going back to school, and then it'll pick up, which I believe, because today was the first day back at school for a lot of people, and I actually got 2 orders already that I had to ship and send out, which is like another weird thing because I run it pretty much out of this truck and out of the house. So I have I'm not sure if this is working or not, but anyways, so I have stuff for like craft fairs that I use, and all that stuff is stored at the house. But then I have like this huge thing that I have all my stickers in, and then another container that I have sticker sheets and bookmarks and planner sheets in. So some stuff I sell only in person, and some stuff I sell online on Etsy. So overall, it's been pretty cool. I've enjoyed the process of like designing everything, and for some reason I get a kick out of finding manufacturers and getting everything manufactured and shipped. And actually, when I go home next weekend, I have Halloween stuff that is already at the house that I'm excited to see. But yeah, it's been fun, and it's been something to keep my mind off of being stuck in a semi-truck for most of my time. So it's been a nice divergent thing. Okay, they're being good, so we won't try to mix that up. They were really rambunctious earlier. Now they're just snoozing. Probably got it all out of their system. But yeah, so the business has been fun. I'm actually working right now to put together a kit, like a journaling kit for like beginners and everything for the Christmas season. So I have one box, one kit that I brought with me so I can take pictures and everything of all this stuff. So that has been pretty fun, just going around and trying to find things that I use, that I promote to beginners. So yeah, that's been fun. And then we're still working to buy a piece of land somewhere to start a homestead farm. That has been much, much slower going because the economy went down and housing prices went up. So that's blown. But I have narrowed down my scope of where I want to live. So before I was looking at all over the country. Yep, see you later, Mobang. It's been fun, man. Nice seeing you. Yep, so before I was looking all over the country, I even considered, like, I hate the desert, but Nevada had cheap land. So I considered it for a while. And then I considered, like, last winter wasn't too bad down south, so where my mom was. I was like, yeah, I could live down here. Well, then this summer, I went down there a lot, and I ended up getting heat stroke once and heat exhaustion once. 2 separate occasions. The heat stroke was from overexerting myself, so I was outside about 10 hours helping them build a garage. And then the heat exhaustion was just from 3 hours fishing in the morning, and it was insane. So I have learned that I cannot, absolutely not, live in the South with heat. So I tried to push my viewing area north more to where I would like, and that cut it down a lot. And then being able to travel with the semi-truck was nice. So I was able to narrow down my scope of, like I said, I don't like the desert, so that cut out most of the west. Aside from the Pacific Northwest, like right near the ocean before the mountains, and that's only like a little sliver of those two states. So we could just cut those out. And then that brings us to the Midwest, which is a bit too flat for me. I grew up near, I always called them hills, but then I met somebody who didn't grow up near them, and she was like, these are mountains, these are not hills. I'm like, okay. And then I started traveling, I'm like, ooh, you know what? They are mountains, they are not hills, you are correct. So yeah, I need at least hills, if not mountains. And then for homesteading laws and everything, I'd really like to have an off-grid property. That was one thing. I think last year around, I want to say November, I actually got a whole bunch of solar panels on sale. So I have like 10 solar panels just sitting in a shed. But they're all ready to go. I just need like the inverter and the control panel and all that other stuff, everything except the solar panels when I do find a place. But I just want like a tiny house, maybe not even a tiny house on wheels, just a tiny house that I can live in with the dogs, little cottage in the woods, little house in the forest, cabin in the forest. No, it's cabin in the woods. My bad, whatever. So yeah, that's all I want, a little hermit cabin. That's what I need. But yeah, a little off-grid hermit cabin. So I was looking at New York because where my brother is, they still have cheaper home prices and cheaper land prices. However, they are not a homesteading friendly state. So they have a lot of laws against off-grid living, and they have a lot of laws against tiny houses. So New York, their regulation, at least for the counties that I looked at, it had to be 900 square feet. And to me, that is just a regular house. Like, that's not what I want. The house I grew up in was, I think, 1,100 square feet. And like, it held a family of 4. There's no reason for me to have that. I've lived in a damn coffin for the most part. Oh, I forgot to turn that down. So yeah, I'm looking for a place where I can have off-grid property with the possibility of hooking to electricity if I wanted to. So I've broken it down to either New Hampshire with the possibility of Vermont. That's still a iffy thing. So New Hampshire and Michigan. So I really like, every time I went out there, I love the Upper Peninsula. I know everybody says, oh, it gets cold and they get a lot of snow. And I tell you what, I will take the cold and snow over the freaking humidity in the southeast any day. Any day. I absolutely love winter. I love winter like some people love summer. Okay? I like snow. I like it. The more the better. So I would have no qualms at all about living in the Upper Peninsula. So those are the 2 places that I've broken it down. Now, my brother and his family would still prefer if I looked at New York or Pennsylvania. Neither one are really homesteading friendly and affordable. They're either or. So New York is affordable, not homestead friendly. Pennsylvania is more homestead friendly, not affordable. My mom would prefer if I did North Carolina, but I cannot live in North Carolina. I cannot survive. Shoot, I can spend 2 weeks in the summer in North Carolina without puking my guts out for hours on end. So, South is cut off. No. So we got New Hampshire and Michigan. The caveats with those Okay, Michigan is further away from all my family, so they would never visit me, which sometimes isn't too bad of a thing, but you know. New Hampshire is too far away from my job. So my company, I don't want to say never goes to New Hampshire, but I'll say we only went a handful of times, and it was because a factory on the East Coast broke down, and so they needed their factory in the Midwest to take product from the Midwest to the East. And we actually worked for the factory in the Midwest, not the Midwest, or not the East. So if I went to New Hampshire, I would have to get a different job. Which homesteading, I would like to make my stationery company and the homestead company be my main source of income. However, I have my truck payment still. It's about half paid off now, but it's still there. And until it is paid for, I should probably have a larger source of income. Hence, trucking. But right now, with the economy the way it is, trucking is not as lucrative as it used to be. So this year I've actually made about $10,000 less than I did last year so far, and we're only halfway through the year. And it was the first part of the year, I was actually worried that I was on the same rate as what I was just starting out trucking. So that's how the loads have been paying, and it's sad. But then on the other hand, it is kind of getting rid of all the startup companies that just popped up when COVID came along and jacked all the prices up. So those ones are figuring out now they can't afford their trucks and their fuel and their employees, and so they're closing their doors, which is why if you wanted to buy a used truck right now, a semi-truck, but didn't want to drive it and just save it, now would be the perfect time to buy a fleet and wait for rates to increase. Be perfect, because you can get cheap trucks. I guess even newer trucks are losing their value more than what they paid initially for them. I'm sure, like this one, Breakdown Benny is not going to get good trade-in value for sure. So, yeah, I think that's about all that's been happening. Honestly, there hasn't been a lot. It's just been, I've been running as hard as I can without burning myself out, and I have burnt out quite a few times. That's why there hasn't been new videos. And then with the dogs, sometimes they're in the truck, sometimes I'm out on the road too long, and then I'll leave them at home, and then they're not on the truck, and my mental state when they are not on the truck nosedives so hard, it's like freaking Mike Tyson punched me in the face. So I should have learned by now that I need at least one of them on the truck to keep me company. Because oh my gosh, when I didn't have either of them, I'd be laying in bed, or I'd wake up in the morning and I'd go to pet Nora, who normally sleeps down by my rear, and she wouldn't be there. And I'd just go, aww. And then driving, like my first couple of days I was driving, and I'd look over and there's no dog there. And then I'd look in the bed, no dog there. And then when I get out at Shippers and Receivers, normally when I come back, Nora is always sitting in the seat looking out the window at me. And when I was coming back, she wasn't there. And I was just like, I'd look at the window expecting to see her, and she wasn't there. And I was just like, this sucks so hard. So I had a quick stop for a delivery in North Carolina this past weekend on Sunday. And they actually had it finished where I could take off with it early, like 4 hours early. And I did. I hauled Heine. And I got to North Carolina Sunday afternoon, and I just straight shot to the house. I'm coming to pick my dogs up. And I did. I took both of them. So we got them both, and then we left out. And then we hauled Heine right back to Iowa. So, yep, that's where we are. Hey, I did get groceries, so I should probably put those away. Except I got crab legs, so I think I'm gonna have crab legs tonight for dinner. So I have my Instapot pressure cooker. It's up there. You can see it now. But it's up there where that gray part is. It's up on top where the bunk is. I gotta stop. It's on top of the bunk, anyways. There we go. That's shit flying over. So yes, that is what has been going on. What's the matter, Sam? You wanna come here? Come on. You wanna get up here and see everybody? Say hi. Say hi. Hi. Oh, she's gonna go bark up the window already. There she is. Say hi, Sienna. Who's that there? Who is it? You see anybody? There was a dog earlier. Oh, there she goes after flies again. You'll hear her if she sees another dog for sure. You will 100% hear her. She is not a quiet dog when there are other dogs around. Oh my gosh, I still have my hair is just all over the place. So I took a shower this morning at one of Hummer terminals, and then I got out and they had a vacuum cleaner, so I vacuumed the whole truck. Oh god, you can see my bed. So I vacuumed the whole truck to get rid of all the dirt and the dog hair and everything. And so some dog hair flew up into my face and the dash and everything else. But I did get rid of a lot of it. And it's like, I want to say 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I was finished, it took maybe 30 minutes. I was just soaking wet from sweat. So it was 100 degrees today. Actually, right now it says it is 105. Can you see that? Right there. 105. That is way too hot for me. I am a 60 degree kind of girl. Okay. I cannot live where it is 100. And that's without the humidity. Like, humidity, it probably makes it at least 5 to 10 degrees hotter. That's insane. Oh, there's a dog. Yeah, she's chasing flies if she can see him. What's the matter, Sienna? Look. What's that? Yeah, I saw him. I saw him. I know. You want dinner, don't you? We got about 15 minutes and we'll get you dinner. How about that? Is it okay? 15 minutes? My little brown-eyed girl. They can't see you, Sienna. I'm just talking to nobody. Nope. And she's gone. She's gone. Alright, fine. Does Nora want to come here? Oh, Sienna. There's Sienna. Let me move the steering wheel up. There you go. You want to come here now? Look. Ow. Careful. You have claws, my dear. Yes, you do. You want to show the people your pretty brown eyes? You look over here. There it is. Pretty brown eyes. Do we need treats to keep you guys occupied? Is that what we need? So I would like to start doing some of these Wicked Wednesday chats weekly. However, I planned this one for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock East, nope, Central, because that's where I am. And I think we were just pulling into the spot at 6 o'clock. So timing may be off. Come on. There you go. Come here, Nora. Timing may be off, but I'm gonna try. We'll see how well. So shoulda, coulda, woulda situation, right? Not you. You had yours. This is your sister's. You gotta sit down. Come here, Nora. Come here, Nora. Up. There you are. There's my pretty blue-eyed girl. Huh. Can you see your blue eyes? Can I see your blue eyes? Give me the treat, woman. There you go. It's salmon because I told you, Sienna's got a finicky stomach, so she can't have chicken or turkey or beef. Haven't tried lamb yet. we'll see. But yeah, so because she can't have all that stuff, Nora has grown up not being able to have that stuff either. So their dog food bill is insane. Like, I try to get 2 different kinds and mix them together so that they don't have quite such like a hard time digesting it. But they love salmon, they love sweet potatoes, and they love pumpkin. So if I can find that one that has all 3 together, they're nuts. They go nuts for it. I'd like to do raw, but honestly, I can't afford raw. Like I said, trucking is not paying great right now. Like, I'm getting my bare necessities and my bills paid for, and that's about all we have the money for. And then, I don't know if it's been this way for everybody else, but have you noticed that heartworm medicine and flea and tick medicine has gone up significantly? So I went to get their shit the other day, and I think it was the heartworm medicine. It could have been the other, like where it was usually $69.99. It's now like $89.99. That's insane, and there's no reason for it. But yeah, so they are still on heartworm medicine because I don't know if I had you guys along with me or not. It was, I'd say the first year or 2 when I was trucking, I found out Sienna had heartworms, and so she had to take like 6 months and live with my brother and sister-in-law and go get, I think it was like weekly treatments for heartworm. So now I'm adamant they have to be on heartworm medication at all times. And they are. They're on Seresto for heartworm and Vectra 3D for fleas and ticks, because I have had ticks on me, and let me tell you, they are freaking disgusting. I find them every once in a while on the dogs, so they were on their medicine, and then like we'd go out walking and we'd come back and they'd be crawling on the bed. Or there was one time I found one on my leg in bed. No, I lost it then. Whoa, did I lose it? The creepy crawliness was, it still gives me shivers thinking about it now, the creepy jeebies. So yeah, they always have to be on flea and tick medicine, and they always have to be on heartworm medicine. So they are, and I shuffle out the freaking $200 per animal for 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is. It's rough. I know if I was still working security, there'd be no way I would be able to afford it. I probably wouldn't have even gotten Nora if I was still working security. So this job does have its perks. And actually, I was just in the office today, and they were all really sweet. And then I got a phone call from some of the other drivers, and we were all talking. And yeah, they were all just really, really nice. And everybody was petting Sienna and Nora. So we got all the pets today. And they got to see a little wiener dog. Little teeter. Didn't get to play with the little wiener dog, but they got to see it. Alright, there's more flute. Throw the hair so don't clog up any of the air. Huh. It's not enough outside, we don't need the truck getting any hotter. There's a rattle here somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, found it. Okay. Up there. There's a rattle. I knew there was somewhere there. But yeah, so driving area. Recently it has mostly been the Midwest, with the exception of North Carolina. So it's been Iowa, Chicago, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas. And by Kansas I mean Kansas City, not the rest of Kansas. For whatever reason, there was one time, I think, or 2 times this whole summer that I was in Colorado. But mostly it's either going to Chicago or going to North Carolina. Really, I've been taking a lot of loads to North Carolina and Tennessee, and then coming back from there has been, that's most, probably the last 6 months or so has been North Carolina and Tennessee loads, which is fine. They pay fine, but it's hot and they don't have cool nights. Like sometimes up here in Iowa, every once in a while, it's like 48 to 50 something in the night, so you can leave your windows open and the truck off and sleep and be nice and peaceful and cool. Not so much in Tennessee and North Carolina and Arkansas. It's just hot all the time. It's like 90s during the day and 80s at night with 95 to 100% humidity all the time. It's too hot. I am not built for this. Actually, my build is one of the other issues that we've had over the past year. I've gained a lot of weight since 2019, I think, when I started trucking. A lot, like nearly 100 pounds. So we need to get a handle on that, which is why we stopped and got groceries today at Walmart. All fruits and vegetables. So I'm trying to stay away from processed food. As much as I freaking love Kraft mac and cheese, I haven't had it in forever. So I've cut out all my cereals. I've cut out most of my bread. And now I'm working on cutting out soups because they were easy for me to keep in the truck here. So I still have some left, but once they're gone, I don't think I'm going to replenish them in the truck. So I've gotten, I think I had some steaks that I was getting, because they're Iowa steaks, and then I have like corn and potatoes, green beans, I got some peaches. There was a while I was eating just cherries. That was my whole meal. Like, I think I got 2 packs at Walmart the last couple of times I stopped, and so I would just have those down here. I just snack on cherries, which was good because they're healthy for you. But if you've ever ate a lot of cherries, you know what happens. And so then we were having issues with that on the back end. So that seemed to clean the system out a bit. I used to like to eat sunflower seeds, David's sunflower seeds. So I'd eat those all the time while I was driving. And I noticed that when I go to bed at night, my hands felt like they were swollen. And then when I wake up in the morning, my legs felt like they were swollen. And so I cut out the sunflower seeds. And I think it's helped a lot because all the salt that was on the sunflower seeds, even the reduced sodium ones, still have a lot of sodium in them. So I've been trying to cut down on my sodium. I will say the only bad thing is I haven't cut down on my soda usage, but that's going to be the next thing I'm going to try to cut out. I actually got an electric kettle here, which has been amazing. So this, like, you push this button down and it heats up, and it takes like a minute and it's already boiling. And so I've been making tea at nighttime, and I love it. It's my absolute favorite thing now. So between the pressure cooker that I have, the Instapot pressure cooker that also has the air fryer in it, between that and this electric kettle, like, that's pretty much all I've been using, unless I'm making soup in the microwave. But yeah, it's been nice. I'd like to be able to get rid of the microwave so I can open up that space, but so far we're still using it. So until I can stop using it, we'll keep it in here. But it's been going good. I just need to get a handle on what I'm eating. So I have cut out because, like I said, freight's been low, so my pay has been low. So I have cut out, for the most part, stopping and getting food at truck stops. Every once in a while I'll go in because I want something quick and easy, and it's hot and I'm tired and just want to get it done. or it's gonna be like 10 o'clock before I stop, so I want something like 5 o'clock for dinner. But I've cut that out a lot. Like I was spending anywhere between like $200 and $300 a week on food, and I've cut it down to less than $100. So that's been good. I just need to cut it down a little bit more than that, but so far that's actually pretty good. Now I've been trying to, instead of getting like, I don't remember what I used to, just like garbage food, like Cinnabons and honey buns and like chips and combos and all this other stuff. I've been trying to get Subway sandwiches. So if I get like a Subway 6-inch, just be like a 6-inch cold cut, and then we're good. So that's been a little easier. We need more exercise too, which is the other good thing with the dogs, because I did notice when I didn't have the dogs in here, I didn't get out for anything unless I was getting to a shipper or leaving a shipper or receiver. With the dogs now, I have tended to either in the morning or at nighttime take them out and walk them around, just for as long as they want to be outside, even with the heat and everything. Usually they'll let me know, be like, okay, it's hot and I want to get back in the truck. Can you please go back to the truck? So we'll go back to the truck. But yeah, so I think more walking with the dogs is what we need to do now, and that should be able to get a handle on my weight issue. Other than that, like out of all the things to bother me, my weight, even though it's high and it's higher than what it should be, it's the least of my problems right now. And I think that's helped, I don't know, just from growing up and talking with a psychologist, therapist. That's helped a lot. So yeah, it's been good. We haven't been reading as many audiobooks as we did last year. Last year we went a little off the deep end with the audiobooks. I think I read something like 50 or 60 audiobooks. So if you think about that, that's 50 or 60 books I actually had to purchase. So that's a huge expense I've cut out. And I have, so when I started my stationery business, I have looked into what products I needed to supply. And one of the things that got me interested was budget planning. So I have made a budget planner, and I follow all of my expenses in that budget planner. So I know where my money is going, what I'm spending it on, when my bills are due, what accounts my bills come out of, how much my bills are, how much the bills versus savings is. There's retirement account and how much of that it has in it. Just like everything that goes with finance, I have put into the budget planner, which has been nice. It's been easy to track and see where my problem areas are and what I need to work on. So one thing was I got really hard into fountain pen collection, which isn't like a known thing to fall into a rabbit hole of, but I mean, it used to be my saying, it could be worse, it could be drugs. But I spent a lot of money on fountain pens, and so now I've curtailed that spending. So that's one thing I can mark off. I curtailed the audiobook spending, so I took that off. I've cut down all my streaming services, so I'm not paying for those anymore. I think every once in a while I'll get Peacock, but that's about it. I have Vudu, so that's a collective where you keep movies that you bought, and I think the first couple of years that I was driving semi-truck, I spent a lot of money on that, and so I've cut down a lot of that and haven't bought a lot of movies. Plus there's not a lot of new movies coming out that are any good anyways, so that doesn't have my interest. So Yeah, now we're just on a big saving spree. I've paid off about half of what my truck payments have been. So I think I ended up paying $30,000 for the truck when I got it, and it's down to about $15,000 owed on it now. And I don't have that much in savings, but I've also cut down my credit card. So I did have almost $5,000 of debt in the credit card, and now that's down to $4,000. So that's cut a lot. Still needs a ways to go because I'd like to have that paid off, or closely paid off, and not use it ever again because the interest rate on it is insane. I did have a personal loan for all of last year, and that's been paid off. So I have slowly been working the debt down, but there's still more to go. So I think once the credit card is paid off, everything that I have will go into down payment for a land or a house. So by next year, hopefully, we should be set on that. But we'll see how that goes. With that, guys, we have hit the hour mark. This has been a long, boring conversation for most of you, I'm sure. But that's just how it's going to be, I guess, for chats. I don't talk to people normally, so I have issues when it comes to socializing. So you'll just have to bear with me with that one. But yeah, so we changed the name. No more My Life So Far. We are officially Lessons from the Back Roads. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all have enjoyed becoming the Backroads Nation, because I've enjoyed coming up with the name, to be honest. It was just like a whole thought process that I went through. Like, I'd really like to change the branding name, but I don't know what I want to change it to. And so I went through a few iterations, and then just one day when I was driving, just like, it'd be nice just to drive up the back roads. And I was like, you know what? I bet we learned a lot as country kids growing up on the back roads. And there's just so many lessons that they had to teach us. And then I just like, bing! You know what would be a really cool name for a channel? Lessons from the Back Roads. So that's how it got the name. And then there was, I don't know, I was watching a video or something, and the channel name was one thing, but then they called their audience something else, like a different name, Nation. I was like, you know what? If we're going to be Lessons from the Back Roads, then the viewers can totally be the Backroads Nation. Because I'm sure I am not the only one who grew up on back roads. Like, they were the first roads I ever drove, and they were the first roads that I ever got into accidents on, and they were the first roads that I got stuck in the mud in and had to get pulled out, and they're the first roads that I like to take when I have vacation time or home time or just out for a leisurely drive. Yeah, and so I'm not the only one, I know it. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be exploring life from the back road. Yeah, that sounds good. So thanks for watching, guys. I will try and get this so that it is a constant thing. Wicked Wednesdays, every Wednesday. Time might vary. I can't promise on a time, but I will commit to Wednesdays because I love the name Wicked Wednesday. So we are going to have Wicked Wednesday chats. Next week, I don't know where I'll be, to be honest. I have no idea. But it'll be the last Wicked Wednesday before I go home to New York to see my brother and them. And then, so in 2 weeks, it'll be right after Labor Day. If I have service, I will do a Wicked Wednesday chat from the farm up there in New York. And then after that, actually the plan is Labor Day weekend, go camping with the family up there in New York. And then the following weekend, there's a Homesteaders of New England conference in New Hampshire. And my genius plan, because my pickup truck is in North Carolina at the moment, is to drive my motorcycle from New York, take it 6 hours to New Hampshire with a tent and camping gear, go camping on Saturday night, and attend the Homesteaders of New England conference on the motorcycle. So it should be interesting. I'm hoping it's not too cold up there at nighttime while I'm driving. Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. So we'll see about that, but it'll be a nice change from all the heat, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think that's the sign. That's it. We need to call it a day. But yeah, we're going to the Homesteaders of New England conference. It's the second weekend in September, and then in October I will be at the Homesteaders of America conference in Virginia. I think that's like October 14th and 15th, I believe. And actually, I'm going to be there on Thursday before that because my genius plan. I signed up to go to the sheep and wool workshop. So I know nothing about sheep or wool, but I paid some money to go learn about it. So that should be fun and interesting and knowledgeable. But yeah. Alright girls, you guys want to say goodbye? Sienna? Sienna, want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye? You guys want dinner, don't you? Do you want dinner? Are you ready for dinner? Nora? Nora with your floof? Do you want dinner? Oh, we're going to be quiet now, aren't we? Wait. I see you being sneaky there, Sienna. Alright guys, with that, we'll say goodbye. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. I will definitely read and reread all the comments, just to make sure I didn't forget anyone. Yeah. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you later. Thank you for being my Backroads Nation. And thank you for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday chat. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.